Guys, deluded goon. And someone in my comments asked me to name our pros and cons of our system. Before I start, I'll say the best way to sum up Arsenal as well, and especially how we've been playing. I actually heard Wenger say this, and I've got it for you. It says we created. This was in reference to the Stoke game actually. Created many chances, had great domination of possession, but unfortunately we dropped 3 points. Does that sound like Arsenal? That sums up Arsenal for you. Dominate possession, lovely passes, lovely opportunities. The one stat that matters, the one thing that matters, the 3 points, sometimes, most of the time, it does not come home. Last year, did not come home a lot of times when we should have. So let's start with the pros. I mean, it's when that football is going well, when Wenger ball is working well. I think we probably played better Wenger ball, to coin the phrase, when we actually had the banter errors with the likes when it was Nasri, Cess, and a couple other poverty players. We actually played a bit more good football because I mean we weren't going to win no leagues and things like that. And I don't really care about playing good football because it doesn't really. I like to, but it doesn't equal trophies. And there's, like Jose said, there's many poets that ain't won anything in football. So with that in mind, it is exciting and things to see that nice football. What I was trying to say before I forgot. In the banner areas, the one thing you did hear is, oh, Arsenal play good football. It's better than Barcelona. It's level with Barcelona. Granted, me and all these Arsenal fans ran with that because, I mean, what else can you run with? You can't exactly talk about your team winning the league when you've got Scalacci and De Jure, centre half, and Senderos. So, yeah, anyways, it's like putting on a show. It's lovely to watch when it works. You see everybody contributing, running in behind, taking it different positions, zipping it, first time passes, two-time passes. You look at the Wilshere goal. You look at Rosicky scored a couple. Sessa scored a couple lovely goals. We've seen a lot of lovely team moves and counters and things like that with the football. So yeah, it's lovely to watch when it works. It pulls people out of position. The opposition, 9 times out of 10, they're going to chase a lot of shadows, a lot of running. And if they're doing a lot of running, people are going to get pulled out of position. People pulled out of position, it opens up space. It allows us to play slightly longer balls and things like that. So yeah, it allows that. It allows us the lion's share of possession. Like I said, possession doesn't mean nothing if you're not going to score, but it allows us the lion's share of possession. And 9 times out of 10, especially at home, you see us dominate. You see us dominating sides and things like that. And it results in most teams coming and remaining compact and counter attacking to success, which you've seen. If it was under me, it'd be different. And it allows us to showcase our technical ability and technical quality of many of the players. And it's nice to have a way of playing football. I mean, I think it's overrated, but it's nice to, when you think of a club, to have a certain way of football. That sadly is gone different. For me, if you're going to play football, it needs to equal winning titles. There's too much emphasis on just simply playing good football at this club. But yeah, that's the pros. Cons now, very predictable, very predictable. In all contexts, whether the game has started, whether we're behind, whether we're in front, whether we're chasing the lead, regardless, you see the backwards pass and you see the same. Sometimes there's not, most of the time, sometimes there's tempo in it, but 9 times out of 10, there's not really any tempo in it. It's one dimensional, going through the motions, allowing teams to sit back, remain compact, get into position. I've always said, playing against Arsenal, if you take the lead, it must be the best thing ever as an opposition player because we're doing half the job for you. If you're not playing the ball quicker, counter-attacking quicker, you allow, especially from corners and things like that, you allow the opposition to get back into position. If you allow people to get back into position, you're allowing people to get behind the ball. If you're getting behind the ball, that's more defenders. More defenders, tougher to break down. 9 times out of 10, what have you seen us? You've seen us in the first half when we should be 4-0 up, going to the second half and it's still 0-0 and it takes a little bit of luck to finally break them down. That is why. Or sometimes it won't get broken down. They'll have an opportunity and score. How much times have you seen at the Emirates and beyond that has happened? I don't need to give you guys examples. You know this. Players are brainwashed into it. Some players have been here too long that they simply think this is it. I mean, I see players just one-dimensional. That's the only thing they're doing, just brainwashed into playing football. Even Alexis, to a degree, has been brainwashed into playing Wenger ball when he should shoot. When he should shoot. I would say we don't have sensible players. In the past, when we played this Wenger ball, granted, it was slightly different with Vieira and Henry because they were bigger. But they had the common sense to realize when these things ain't working to change it up. These players don't know. Like, that's why between not being sensible enough or being scared of Wenger or just not standing up to be counted. That goes back to the previous point, whether we're 1-0 up, 1-0 down, or 1-1, backwards passing, one-dimensional, same things. It's predictable. I mean, how many times Ferguson, Jose, they could beat us in their sleep? I mean, do you really think they sat down and prepared for Arsenal? Really and truly, they did not. Like, I'll be shocked if either of them prepared for Arsenal, especially when Jose was at Chelsea, because he didn't lose to Wenger. Why would you need to prepare? Straight out the handbook. So yeah, it's easy to defend against, like I said, regardless of context, like I said, backwards and going through the motions. At times, the cons, when you have players that are not brave in possession, it cannot work. Like you've seen the first 2 games of this season, the backwards passing, not being brave. you can't play it with safe players. Too many people need to take risks, and that's why you see people like Ozil suffering. We get caught out. You normally see 5 or 6 or 7 players contributing to the attack. Imagine if they were so much on defending as much as they were going forward. You see 5 or 6 go forward, everybody out of position. What do you constantly see? Counter attack. Even if we look at the at one example that sticks out in my head was it the semi cup final against FA Cup semi final against City and Kun scored. You go and look at when he scored and how the counter attack happened. I'm pretty sure this sums it up. So there's that. Sometimes strikers can be isolated. I've seen Giroud do it. Lacazette realised it against Stoke and came deep. Theo, when he used to play up through the middle, I mean, Theo's nothing to write home about, and for a lot of times he was equally as poor. But sometimes I did see it. Lack of service. They become isolated. It becomes 10 men. The striker is just doing a job up there. Everyone's played up front before, and it's long when you're not getting no service. You're just running around, occupying centre halves. You're doing a different job. Them sort of games are long. You need to play a bit more direct at times because, I mean, it doesn't get the best out of forwards. I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's really what I think the pros and cons are. There is a lot more, and there's a lot less depending on how you think. But there probably is a lot more if I sat down and thought about it a bit more. But these are what I think is the key problems, like mainly the rigidness and being unable to kill games. Really, trying to walk it into the back of the net, trying to score the perfect goal, trying to make sure everybody gets the passes, everybody gets the touches. It does feel like it's the same thing. That is how they play at training. At the tempo you see at the training videos and at trading is how they are in the match. There is no tempo, there's no aggression, there's no force. You can't play like this in the Premier. It would be lovely if we could win the league like this. Well, you can, but you need tougher players, you need harsh players, you need players that can switch it up. But to play black and white, Wenger ball, no plan B over 38 games, not the way I'm saying it should be, the way it's actually done. I'm not saying I'm an expert or know more than anyone, but come on now, simple analysis. It can't be done. Anyways, guys, Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. To the guy who was in the comments, or girl, whoever you are, no offense. Hope I've answered your question. Get in the comments, subscribe. I'm out. Thank you for watching, guys.